What's going on, family? So for the past few months, it's just been random thoughts, but however, in that same realm of things. I think people around me, of course, know me or have seen the progress and the increase of things. But I would at least say maybe 85% of people have no idea about the past because they just see the now. And granted, it's the now for a reason. But in order to truly understand one's struggle, I think you got to understand where they come from. And while I mentioned it in some of my shorts and some of my TikToks, I've never really dove into it and gave a lot of context with, the past, especially when it comes to the business entrepreneurship aspect. So real quick, I will give you a rundown of just what it consists of. So about a good maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, me and my brother, we created one of the largest selfie museums in the state of Alabama. I reside in Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And if you're familiar with those two, it's a good maybe 5.5 hour ride between both cities in Alabama because you're coming from south and north. So me and my brother, we came up with this brilliant idea to open up a selfie museum. At the time of the selfie museum, I was already a master barber, already had a barber shop. So to me, it was a no-brainer, right? Because I'm the type of guy, if I think of something or if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, if I say I'm going to do it, 89% chance when I say it, especially out loud, if I say it out loud, it's an 89% chance that it's 99% done. I just put it out loud beforehand. Just to get the hype going, I guess. So me and my brother opened up the selfie museum. I came up with the idea to open up the selfie museum. I'm a guy to where I can come up with the ideas and I just want to go. My brother is a guy, you tell him your ideas and he kind of go into the weeks of things and understand the strategy and the background and the context of it before, we do it. So he's the planning type and he just moves very strategically. Versus me, I move quick. So, idea was laid out. My brother came up with the idea of placing it in our mall here in Alabama. So I said, that's a brilliant idea. And at that time, every store we had in our mall was a franchise store of some sort, whether they've been Victoria's Secret, Hibbett's, things of that nature. It wasn't a black-owned store, so to say, for one, nor was it a store where, you just had someone come up with something and they place it there. Everything was already formed at some point. So we came up placing it in the mall. Everything was good until maybe we started moving stuff out of the store. So we took over for New York and Company, our release. Had one of the biggest stores in the mall. Literally, the store was so huge, like crazy. Looking back on it, it was too big. It was just too big. Mistake one. And I'm gonna make this in parts, so don't worry. So, store was huge, right? We signed a lease. Had this huge store with just stuff in it. Like I said, it was the old New York and Company store. So it was a department store. So we got in. um, move stuff out. And then we just had the space of what we had the idea. And I'm just used to barbershops. Like, I know the side of business of barbershops and I understand entrepreneurship very well. But man, it just went fast. Like 1 second it was the idea, second, now we have the keys, now we have the lease, and we're in the mall. And at this time, we're 21. Like, no, I lied to you actually. I was 23, 24. 23, 24 at that time. And my brother was 23, 22, I believe. So we're young, man, and we just finished college. But we had this brilliant idea. So we moved everything out, just me and my brother. I think we may have had some help. And then we're like, yeah, so okay, what's the next step? And as we go, we're going, but it's like we're blind, like we're blindfolded because this is new to us. From that, we of course had to hire an architecture, a GC, which is a general contractor. Just thinking about it, general contractor, architect. Listen, the first step was hiring an architecture. We had all of this space, and we knew what we wanted to do with it if you asked us. But you must have an architecture before you get your general contractor, because you can't go to a general contractor like saying, yeah, I want to do this and this and this. No. It's like, oh yeah, you need some plans. We're like, how much is plans? Call architecture. It's like $2,500 to get plans. It's like a sheet of paper, something that I could have really just drew out. And it took them maybe like 2 hours. But so yeah, hired architecture. From that, after that, we got the general contractor, and then everything, like I said, took off. The most important part of this, what I tell people, is having the right crew around you. I'm not going to say having a crew, but having the right crew around you. Because what we understood at that time was that, listen, this is a challenge. Like, not only are we African Americans, but God, we're 23 years old. This is a challenge. Like, how can you at 23 be in a mall with this huge mega store, and you're coming with an idea that's not familiar in Alabama? Like, no one even knows like what that is if you say Seffi Museum. And it was just a challenge, man. So our crew and our friends that we had was just great. Not only great as friends, but to be honest, it wouldn't have been possible without them at all. Guaranteed. So every step of the way, the friends was there. Our general contractor, like I said, he was moving fast. But the most important part of this was the financial aspect. So part 2, I would dive into the part once we got our official GC, because you just don't want anyone doing this work. Like, there's a million contractors or GCs, but you want the right general contractor that's for that project. So part 2, I dive into how we chose, and then the next step of the process. And this is how we lost like $60,000.